Time for another one. We're on question 1. Quick check. What is a key feature of responsible AI? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Responsible AI is fundamentally defined by fairness, and responsible AI prioritizes fairness, inclusivity, and the avoidance of bias to build ethical AI systems that serve all users equitably. Hi everyone, Stack Lessons again. 10 questions for you today, all about responsible AI, AWS AI service selection, and ML data concepts. Standard 6-second countdown on each one. Try not to peek at the answer before you commit. Good luck. Keep a running tally. We compare scores in the comments afterwards. Ready? Question 2. Which machine learning-powered AWS service offers unified search across multiple data repositories? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. Comprehend reads text. Combra unifies repositories with ML. Amazon Kendra is an enterprise search service that connects multiple repositories and uses ML to return relevant answers based on user queries, providing unified intelligent search capabilities. Ready? Question 3. Small wording, big difference. Which AWS tool provides recommendations and best practices for optimizing governance, cost, security, and performance in AI systems? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. Trusted Advisor is your multi-category optimization scanner. AWS Trusted Advisor offers comprehensive recommendations to optimize costs, security, performance, and governance in AI systems by analyzing your AWS environment and providing actionable insights. Let us switch gears. Question 4. Use elimination aggressively. How does reinforcement learning work? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. 3 wrong options each smuggle in a different ML paradigm. Reinforcement learning involves an agent interacting with an environment by taking actions and receiving rewards or penalties, learning a policy to maximize cumulative rewards over time through trial and error. Keep your focus here. Question 5. Translate the story into requirements. A call center company wants to extract insights from customer phone conversations. They need to analyze and process key information from recorded audio calls. What solution best addresses their audio analysis requirements? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Audio in, text out, transcribe is always the first step. Amazon Transcribe is specifically designed to convert speech to text from audio recordings, enabling subsequent analysis of customer conversations. Amazon Lex builds interactive chatbots, not for analyzing existing recordings. SageMaker Model Monitor tracks ML model performance, not audio processing. Amazon Comprehend analyzes text but cannot directly process audio files. Transcribe provides the essential first step of converting recorded calls to text format, enabling comprehensive conversation analysis and insight extraction. 5N, Kendra for ML-powered enterprise search, Trusted Advisor for multi-pillar optimization, and Transcribe as the mandatory audio bridge before any downstream NLP. All right, for question 6, the qualifier matters. When Linguabot Solutions processes input text for its translation service, The first step its underlying transformer-based LLM performs is to break down the input sentences into smaller, manageable units. These units often correspond to words or subword pieces. What is the common term for these fundamental units in the context of LLMs? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. The phrase fundamental units is your exact unlock here. Tokens are the basic units of text that large language models, LLMs, process. Text is first tokenized, broken down into these pieces, which can be words, subwords, or characters, before being converted into numerical representations, embeddings for the model to understand. All right, question 7. Parse the sentence before the options. The process of converting input data, like text or images, into a numerical format that a machine learning model can understand, often involving techniques like tokenization and then mapping tokens to vectors, is a preliminary step before feeding data into a foundation model. This overall conversion is essential for select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Strip the scenario. Models only consume numerical representations. Machine learning models, including foundation models, operate on numerical data. Therefore, raw input like text or images must be converted into a suitable numerical representation, e.g., embeddings, tensors of pixel values, before the model can process it. Okay, question 8. Do not skim the condition. Discovery AI aims to uncover inherent groupings or clusters within an extensive collection of customer feedback surveys without using any predefined categories. The dataset consists solely of the raw survey text, lacking any prior tags or classifications. This form of data, devoid of explicit target outcomes, is referred to as select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. No tags, no categories, no prior labels. One term covers this. Unlabeled data consists of data points that have not been tagged with any explicit labels, classifications, or outcomes. It is commonly used in unsupervised learning algorithms, such as clustering, to discover patterns or structures within the data itself. Let's nail down this one. The difference between labeled and unlabeled data trips up a lot of people. Imagine you dump 50,000 raw customer reviews into a folder. No tags, no categories, just text. Nobody sorted them into positive or negative beforehand. That's unlabeled data. Now contrast that with labeled data, where a human tagged each item before training. Think of an email dataset where every message is pre-sorted as spam or not spam. The question says there are no predefined categories and no prior tags. That's the exact definition of unlabeled data. Labeled data requires upfront sorting by a person. Unlabeled data is whatever you collected raw. No tags? It's unlabeled. That's the whole answer. All right, question 9. Find what the distractors miss. A data scientist at EcoAnalytics is exploring a dataset with various environmental factors, temperature, humidity, CO2 levels, pollution index, to understand how these factors relate to each other before building a predictive model. Which visualization or tool would be most helpful for quickly assessing the pairwise linear relationships between these numerical variables? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. PCA reduces dimensions. Correlation matrices reveal pairwise relationships. A correlation matrix is used to investigate the dependence between multiple numerical variables at the same time. It shows the correlation coefficients between all pairs of variables, indicating the strength and direction of their linear relationships. Before building any model, you need to explore. This slide maps out which tool does what. Someone at Eco Analytics hands you 4 columns: temperature, humidity, CO2 levels, and pollution index. Before building any model, you need to know, does CO2 rise with temperature? Does humidity track pollution? That's the pairwise relationship question. A correlation matrix answers it all at once. You get one number, from -1 to +1, for every pair. K-means clusters rows into groups. It won't tell you how variables relate. PCA, or principal component analysis, compresses your variables into fewer dimensions. Handy later, but right now it hides the raw connections you need. A confusion matrix grades a trained classifier. You haven't built a model yet. The trap is confusing explore variables with evaluate my model. Correlation matrix wins here. Here we go, question 10. Eliminate before you select. A marketing analytics firm, market trend, analyze diverse customer information. Part of this information is organized meticulously in database tables with clearly defined fields like customer ID, last purchase date, and total spent. Another part consists of free-form text from customer emails and social media commentary. How would these two distinct forms of data primarily be distinguished? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Option C looks right. Numerical versus textual misses the point. Structured data is highly organized, typically in a tabular format, like database tables or spreadsheets, making it easily searchable and analyzable. Unstructured data, such as text, images, or videos, lacks a predefined format or organization, making it more complex to process. Let's break down why 3 of these options sound almost right, but aren't. Imagine you're a detective sorting evidence. Some clues are in tidy folders with labels. Others are loose scraps of handwriting. That's the difference between structured and unstructured data. Option A trips you up with machine learning vocabulary. Labeled and unlabeled describe training datasets, not data formats. Option C sounds plausible, but customer ID can be a string like cust 829, not a number. Option D confuses format with speed. Both types can be live streamed or sit in a warehouse. The word primarily is your signal. Find the best category. That's structured versus unstructured, the exam's foundational split. 3 takeaways from this session. First, tokens split text into units. Embeddings map those tokens to vectors. Sequential pipeline steps, not synonymous terms. Second, unlabeled means no annotations. Unstructured means no schema. The exam conflates these as distractors. Third, transcribe is the mandatory audio-to-text bridge. Comprehend, Kendra, and Lex all require text input, not raw audio. The hardest questions here tested whether you can keep overlapping concepts separate. Unlabeled data is not the same as unstructured data, and a correlation matrix is not a PCA plot. The exam probes exactly those gaps. You've now trained that muscle. Quick ask before the next batch. If this helped your prep, subscribing is the simplest way to keep it going and spread it. Tell me your score in the comments and what you'd want explained deeper. If there's an exam you want next, suggest it below. And if the pace or look could improve, send me your honest take.